All right, Utah's housing market hitting renters just as hard as buyers right now. This morning, we continue our summer interview series on the Utah Housing Crunch. Interviews with the experts live every Monday through the rest of the summer. Today, we're talking finances for renters with Utah Community Action. Before we jump into the interview, a quick look at the numbers. The average rent for a two-bedroom apartment in Salt Lake City right now, $1,274. That is a 7.7% increase from last year, a big number. A person would need to make $22.62 an hour to afford a two-bedroom apartment. That is triple Utah's minimum wage. Here with me to talk about what those numbers feel like on the ground, Utah Community Action's Case Management Housing Director, Sahil Oberoi. Thanks so much for being here this morning.
Thanks for
I
having
appreciate
me,
it. Can we start with the lack of inventory? That's kind of all you hear about on like the purchasing side. Are you seeing that same thing on the renting side?
We are, and there are a couple of factors that are contributing to that. First is the net migration outside of Utah has slowed down. Folks are choosing to stay here because of the pandemic, and we're also seeing a lot of folks come into the Salt Lake area. That with the fact that we have not built as quickly as we would have liked to, and obviously because of COVID, a lot of new construction had stopped. That all of those combined have really put a hamper on our current housing inventory.
Can you kind of walk me through how many families do you serve? How many families are you helping right now?
Yeah, so through this pandemic, since March of 2020, we assisted over 4,500 families, provided over $18 million in emergency rental assistance, and we just, we're unfortunately having to see more and more families come through because even though we're seeing the number of cases go down, individuals are still feeling the impacts of COVID.
Walk me through the basics of what a family should be paying on their rent.
Yeah, what we try to do is we try to encourage families to stay between 30, maybe 40% of their income, but obviously as we see the prices are really high, they're having to contribute more. A study done in 2019 showed that the average American family is, a paycheck away. That percent was 40%. Now it's 60% of individual families are to a point where if they lose a job or if they have to stay home because of either being impacted by COVID directly or loss of child care or have any other issues, they're out of luck.
Well, this seems like in Salt Lake City, because of that lack of inventory, if you can't afford your current apartment, there just isn't a secondary apartment to go to.
That's correct, just because everyone's looking, unfortunately. Everyone's looking for the same thing.
There do seem to be jobs available. That's a number kind of touted by our Utah leaders. There are a huge number of jobs available right now. Are they jobs in the right areas? Are people qualified for those jobs? Is that helping? Yeah,
I mean, that's really a good sign. Anytime we meet with families, we encourage them to work with the Department of Workforce Services, connect them with jobs, but I think the biggest issue is just the lack of inventory that's available. You can have a good paying job, but at the same time, you're competing with others in the same similar situation to apply for an apartment. We see folks having to apply, and there are application fees usually that they have to pay $60 to $70, and they're competing against 10 to 15 other individuals for one apartment. So that's where it gets difficult.
Interesting. So you're having to pay apartment fees, hundreds of dollars then, for just application fees?
Yeah, in some situations, that's correct.
Right. Talk me through how to access the help that's available. It sounds like there is help available right now because of COVID, unfortunately.
Yeah, so the state of Utah has received over $215 million.
It's a big number.
That's a big number to provide assistance for those individuals that have been impacted by COVID. So there are a couple of things you can do. You can go to our website, www.utahca.org, or you can go to rentrelief.utah.gov. There's a brief application that you need to fill out, but once you complete that and you can show us that that you've been impacted by COVID, there is assistance that is available.
Perfect. So, there really is, there are real dollars available for people who need them, which is a great thing. Director Oberoi, thanks so much for being here. Utah Community Action has a lot of help. We've listed those links. We're going to list them on our website as well. Our interview series on the Housing Crunch, again, lasts all summer long, every Monday morning. Just 30 minutes from now, we're going to continue the financial conversation with a look at home ownership with experts at Zions Bank. Catch all of our previous conversations as well.